Hi, everybody. Welcome to class with Professor Me. Today we're going to be talking about doing gender with wallets and purses. The author of this article is Tristan Bridges. You can find the reading on Assigned Life with Gender by Lisa Wade. So, the argument that is being made in this article is that purses and wallets are gendered spaces. So, in common cultural ideology, we often think that things like purses and wallets are a natural consequence of our innate gender differences. But the argument being made here is that wallets and purses are a way of producing and reproducing our society's understanding of gender differences rather than the natural consequence of gender difference. So we can understand sociologically where this author is coming from if we know some basic concepts of sociology regarding role expectations. So, role expectations, especially in our culture and our society, is that we have expectations of the types of things that men are responsible for or that men do. So, a role or a gendered role in this case is just a behavior that's associated with your status. So, if others perceive you to be male bodied, or if they perceive you to be female bodied, meaning they perceive you to be a man or perceive you to be a woman, they will imply all of those gendered expectations on you, regardless of actually what your sexual identity is or how you identify. So there's an expectation of role performance in regards to that. So what we do is we expect a certain type of behavior from individuals that we perceive to be either male or female. And we expect certain role obligations, meaning the behaviors expected towards others, how I'm going to behave towards you because you perceive me as a woman. So I'm supposed to be more caring, more, uh, more understanding. A lot of people expect women to be submissive in general, to not take a leadership role, those types of things. Um, when what happens is that even while our society is transitioning into different role expectations, like for example, today we see more gender neutral bags. That doesn't mean that people who identify as male or female are going to be carrying different things in those bags. Meaning, for example, somebody who identifies as male is still probably not going to be considered, not going to be carrying a lot of objects that we would consider good for care work, meaning, oh, in case a little kid needs a snack, or in case someone else needs a band-aid, or in case someone else needs a lighter. You're probably carrying those things for yourself only if you identify as male, whereas if you identify as female, the role performance expectations and behaviors probably have required you to be more conscientious of other people's needs throughout your entire lifetime. So you might be inherently carrying those things, even if they're not necessarily for you, right? Um, and the reason why we do this is because of something we call role strain. So role strain is the experience that you personally experience as an individual when you fail to meet the role expectations that somebody else or society believes that you should fulfill. So that could be as a parent, that could be in your workplace, that could be as a particular gender that others perceive you as, right? So let's take a moment and look at what we have in our purses or our wallets, what we do. Let's kind of do an everyday carry. Play along with me because we are going to kind of go into this in some of our assignments in this week. So what exactly do you have in your purse or your bag? take a moment to take it out and put it on the table. Tell me what kind of things you find in your purse, in your bag. For me, I carry, this is actually for work. So this is a bag filled with pens and highlighters and things that I have. In my bag, I have my wallet. I always carry a pair of reading glasses because I'm getting old and I need to read. I carry my phone, my keys, those types of things. I'm not too much of a primper, so I don't carry things like makeup. I do notice though that the older I get, what I'm doing, like during the summer versus during the school year, it changes actually what I carry in my bag. My kids are also grown, so I don't have to carry a lot of things for little ones. But take a moment, put it out on the table. What are the kinds of things you're finding? I know you probably are hesitant, but just play along with me, please. So take those things, and what we're going to do is what they did in the article. We're just going to put them in order of things from most private to most public, right? So things that you might carry just for yourself, that you wouldn't really let anybody else use. Sentimental items. For me, that's like sunblock. I won't let anyone use my sunblock, not even my husband. Um, Medicine that I need, those kinds of things. What are you carrying for you? Yourself and institutions. So your ID, your credit cards, those types of things that you might need for an institution, a key card to get into work, those types of things. What is that? Would probably be your second most private. Um, what are you carrying for you and it should be selected others next, right? So things that you would allow your kid for your kids, your friends, your spouse, that kind of thing, your partner. I carry my phone for myself, but if my spouse or my kids ever need it, I just hand it to them and they use my phone. Some people carry headphones they're willing to share, some people aren't. Snacks for yourself and maybe others if they, I'd be willing to give. If I had a piece of candy in my purse and somebody else wanted one, I would absolutely share. Entertainment sometimes for kids. I would consider my select others, my even my reading glasses. I've shared them with my spouse or my friends when we go out to dinner and one of us forgot our reading glasses. My husband's a big, burly guy with a big beard, and I didn't have my reading glasses, and he didn't have his. And so he borrowed our friend's pink reading glasses. He looked very cute in them, by the way. We all loved it. We all thought he looked great in the pink reading glasses. And then the most public, you or yourself or anyone else, things like my work pens, I also often will hand to students, gum or candy, especially when I'm flying. I always make sure to bring hard candy in case there's a little baby who needs it, right? Or little kid, not little baby, but sometimes for their ears. Some people will carry lighters even though they're not smokers, so that they can, if someone else needs a light, that kind of thing. Like, so what did you find, and what order can you kind of put those in order, right? And so what we find, here's a few pictures of what men carry in their wallets, right? And so what we find is, we tend to, if you are identify as male, you will carry things for just yourself, things for yourself in institutions, and then maybe a few things for yourself and selected others, that you'd be willing to lend out a little bit. But even like the snack here, I would assume that that is only solely for that person, that they wouldn't like hand it to someone else. Um, Versus if you are a female bodied person, what we tend to see, and this one I actually Googled what do moms keep in their purses? What should a mom keep in their purse? And I also Googled what do dads keep in their, what do dads keep in their wallets? Nothing came up, by the way, just regular wallets. I had a hard time even finding pictures of what men had in their wallets, that took a bit of time. But for women, this comes up a lot. And you can see here, like, so this is a personal item, a tampon, emergency items like a hair tie and safety pins and bandages and quick clean, and all these things are care items that you can imagine that that person might use for themselves, wet ones. Baby sunblock instead of just regular sunblock. I use the regular one of this, by the way, on my face. That's the one I won't share, which I love. But you can see that a lot of these things are probably aimed at for a child, right? Versus just for that person themselves in their purse or their wallet. And so why? Why do we see this? That's because of that expectation that women, as their role, is that they are a role as a caregiver, and that when we do care work, or when we happen to inhabit a female body, the expectation is that we're more likely to do care work, right? So what you find is an inequitable distribution of how many of those most public things, or the things that are carried in purses, is a subtle way in which, our gendered roles are performed, and what others expect us to carry, right? So there are just certain things that are more likely to be carried in a purse than in a wallet, because we expect women to do more of that care work. So like, this is a contents of a wallet, and you see this person does have a baby. We're making an assumption because it's a wallet that this is a male-bodied person. I also Googled what do men have in their wallet, and I believe that's a male. They blurred it out, which was appropriate. Um, and you can see that there are no items in this wallet that we would say, okay, just in case this little girl needs a wipey or a treat or to be entertained, right? And so the argument made here is that those who carry purses care for others, including others without purses. So those who carry wallets also would expect their partner, if that is a female-bodied person, to probably be carrying the extra things that they need, that they don't need to carry themselves in their own pockets or